Welcome back. This is Allison Lewis with the 7-Minute Life, and I'm here for another installment of some step-by-step training for financial advisors. And this is something I hear all the time. People come to me and they say, Allison, I am just stuck. My business has plateaued. I'm not quite sure why it's not growing, but I want to do something about it. And this little short video is going to share a couple of ideas for how you can sort of jump out of that place and begin to move forward again. Now, if you are just joining us, you may want to go back and watch the first video where we did a very short business assessment. Because if you're stuck, it's possible that you need to go back and really take an honest look at what your business model looks like. Because until we get a grasp on what we're doing and how we're doing and what we need to improve on, it's hard to really move forward in this business. So this word stuck is just, it's so appropriate. You know, you walk in the office and you feel like your feet are on a glue trap and you're not quite sure why you can't move forward, but you just feel like you're standing still. And you know you're smart, you know you have good communication skills, but there just seems to be some kind of gap, an obstacle that you can't overcome. And you just want to understand, what are those few things that I could do to grow my business? And in these specific videos, we're talking about how do you increase your gross production revenue? How do you increase your assets under management? And how do you attract new households? These are the things, the metrics that financial success is measured on. Now, I understand that there are a lot of other things, but in this video series, we're really going to be talking about growing the production of your financial advisory practice. And these are the three metrics that all intertwine to help you move forward. And let me just give you a little background. I started as a financial advisor in 1982. I was 22 years old. So those of you that do math, you know exactly how old I am. But I was 22, just out of college with a degree in economics and English communications. I had absolutely no idea of what I was jumping into. And I started into a place that became my passion, my purpose, and what I enjoyed about life. And I really felt like it brought me fulfillment and significance. But I assure you, it was a difficult job. And there were times that I felt like I just couldn't move any harder. I couldn't move forward, that I was stuck. But the outcome of enduring and persevering and having determination is that over that 30-year period, I grew first as a solo practitioner, working as an individual financial advisor, and then I was an early adopter of bringing on team members. And after I brought on those team members, there were 2 of us in production. We grew a business to $1.3 million. And what had happened is that I had been stuck at the $400,000 level in production, and then stuck at $450,000 and $475,000. And there came this magic moment, as though a tipping point hit, and our team really got into sync. Our business model fell together, and our business grew. Now, it was not overnight. We worked really, really hard, but the outcome of it was that we built, as a team, a very successful financial advisory practice. And I want to share the very first thing that happened in that business. You know, so many people have come to me and said, Allison, what kind of fabulous elevator speech do you have? What's the first thing that you say in those 30 seconds that you meet someone that makes them want to do business with you? And I know you want to hear what that elevator speech is, because everybody thinks you got to have this perfect thing that you need to say. But the truth is, you don't need any kind of elevator speech. What you need is action. Every day that you move in, the exact opposite of being stuck is taking action. Instead of standing still, it's moving forward. It's taking that forward progress by doing things that are valuable, that help your clients, that bring awareness and branding to your company and to the things that you do. Everything about increasing your practice has to do with increasing the amount of action that you're willing to take. So this is the tipping point. If you know you have to take action, then I realized that I needed a daily written plan of action. I needed some kind of form, a repeatable process that I could use to make sure that I was moving forward, to track my progress, to focus on those top priorities. And what has made the 7-minute life was this very tool. This is it. This is the tool that was the tipping point for me, is to have a piece of paper on my desk in the morning that says, Allison, here's what you're going to do. These are the high value actions you're going to take today. They're going to move you forward, grow your business, enhance relationships with your clients, and bring your own life meaning and fulfillment and significance. Well, what does that really look like? I think what most people think about when they understand the underlying time management principles, those pillars, they recognize that in the top right-hand corner of the daily progress report is something that's called the 5 before 11. What will I do 5 before 11? And this tool is beyond imagination, one of the strongest pieces of strategy that we have. If you could select 5 things that you will make a commitment to accomplishing before 11 o'clock the next day, can you imagine how different your life would be? People say, well, what difference does it make if I do 5 things? That doesn't sound like very much. But what if you did 5 high-value things during an entire week? If you just accomplished a mere 5 things, you would have marked 35 tasks off your list. What if you accomplished 5 activities that were high value for 90 days? The 7-minute life is built on a 90-day platform. Of course, quarterly earnings are on a 90-day platform, and nature's on a 90-day platform. We go from summer to fall to winter to spring and back to summer. Almost all of life is in quarters. If you were to accomplish 5 high-value activities before 11 a.m. over the next 90 days, you would have accomplished 450 steps towards success. Now, as a financial advisor, how often do you have the opportunity to choose to take 450 steps forward? That's why the 5 before 11 is so important. But what good does it do you if you walk in and you say, hey, here are the 5 things I'm going to do, but they're not good, profitable things? As we go farther into the 7-minute life, you'll understand that the 5 before 11 list is not a to-do list. It's a list of activities that will specifically grow your business. It's a list of, I'm going to call John to make sure that he understands the proposal that we've put together and that how that money that's coming in is going to transition into the investment strategy that we put. A 5 before 11 has to be able to be started and finished, to be marked off. We'll go more into that if you go to our YouTube videos and subscribe to it. This is a very powerful piece of information. Again, on that written daily plan of action, 7-minute life connections. How many people are you going to prospect? How many? Are you going to call 3 people or are you going to call 100? Whatever that number is, prospecting is key to bringing in net new households. And this single piece was my driving force because I'm competitive. I wanted to be successful, but I wasn't competing against other financial advisors. I was competing against myself. And I knew from the very first that the more daily contacts I made, the more outbound phone calls I made, the more my business was going to grow. So along with having my 5 before 11, the top priorities that I wanted to take care of that day, I created a scorecard. And every time I made an outbound call, I would get points for it. And I wanted to fill this list up of daily contacts. Now, I don't know if this is true, but years ago I read an article that said the average financial advisor makes 9 outgoing calls a day. That's less than 1 an hour. Now, realize I was 22 years old when I started calling, but even before I had the worksheet, I thought to myself, wow, if the average person is making 9 outgoing phone calls, what if I make 18? I think you can see quickly that the more calls you make, the more contacts you make, the more people you meet, the bigger your business is going to grow. You're going to have net new households. You're going to increase your assets under management. You're going to increase your gross production. That's how all of this works. The 7-Minute Life Daily Progress Report also will help you in your business because it keeps track not just of what you spend, but of how much water you've had that day. The more water and hydrated you are, the more productive you're going to be. Obviously, you're going to be more productive if you've been sleeping, if you've exercised, if you've had time to relax and reflect, and if you've been reading about how to be more successful. Your productivity, your daily productivity is going to go up if you eat healthy foods. But the bottom line of this worksheet is in the bottom right-hand corner. At the end of the day, when you walk out, I want you to answer one question. If you believe you're going to grow your practice and you're going to do the things that it's going to take, I want you to ask, did I do what I said I would do today? Did I do what I said I would do today? Because success takes action. And how do you make all of this work? Why the 7-Minute Life? There are 24 hours in a day. That's the container. That's all you have to grow your business. That's all you have to live your life. Out of those 24 hours, there are 1,440 minutes. We're going to ask you as a financial advisor or as a person watching this video to take 1% of your time. 1% of your time, that's 14 minutes, to plan out what you want to accomplish, to think through how you're going to run your day the next day, to create that written daily plan of action that can inspire, that can motivate, that can move you forward. When you have a written plan, you don't have to be stuck. You're walking in with a piece of paper that says, here's the path I'm going to take. I'm going to walk forward, move forward, and I'm going to do it with intention. What would happen if you took 1% of your time to plan? What if you took 7 minutes? There are 14 minutes is 1%. What if you took 7 minutes in the evening to think through what would be 5 things that would make my practice more profitable, make clients more engaged, build relationships, and then take 7 minutes in the morning just to get organized for the day, to pull the files, to think through every step that you need. That's where the 7-Minute Life comes from. Our attention spans are so short. If you walk in the office without a written daily plan of action, what happens is that you're hit with a fire drill. And you get there at 8 or 9 o'clock, and all of a sudden it's 6:30 and you walk out and you've gotten nothing done. That's why we feel stuck. Let's step back. What if you would take 1% of your time to create a daily written plan of action that would get you moving in the right direction? 7 minutes to create that 5 before 11 list. And people always ask me, is that 5 before 11 a.m. or 11 p.m.? It doesn't matter to me. It's just getting those top priorities written down and doing them, accomplishing them, taking action. Would it make sense to take 7 minutes to do that? And then again, at the very bottom right, do what you say you'll do. Being a financial advisor is not easy. It just isn't. Instead of an elevator speech and focusing on what you think you need to say, that's going to, it's not that you have to have the perfect words. It's that you have to get out there. You have to meet people. Whatever it is that you're supposed to say is going to happen naturally and authentically. It's going to happen because you're talking to people. In the last class, we talked about the fact, in the last video, that here at the 7-Minute Life, I try to help all people. But I think it's really important for me to try to help financial advisors because I was a financial advisor for 30 years. And I understood the problems with time management and distractions, the problem of not having goals, I was lucky enough to have a very effective team, but there's a lot of team building going on. You've got to have that effective team. You have to regain that internal motivation to move forward, and you have to have repeatable systems and tools. That's what the daily progress report is. I want you to click below and download the daily progress report and begin to use it just for a week, just for 90 days. Mark off those 5 before 11. Write them down and do them. 7 days, you would have accomplished 35 5 before 11s. But in the next class, I hope you'll join us. We're going to be talking about goal setting. We're going to move from how to take daily action, which is hard. And I wish people understood that. They all looked at us and they said, well, how do you do it? Well, we worked hard. We took effort. We had increased action. But in order to really focus that attention to move from stuck to going someplace, you have to have a destination. You have to know exactly what your goals are. And with this in mind, I'm a mathematician. I created something called the 7-Minute Life Financial Advisor Projections Worksheet. And this is a worksheet where you can quantify what you want to do. And I'll just show you this brief example. We'll be going through the whole thing in our next video. But what if you knew that your average account, your average household had $750,000 in assets? And what if you knew that your current gross production was at $475,000? That was that place that I really became stuck, and that your assets under management were $55 million. You could look at that and you could say, well, I'm making 0.86 on my payout. And you can begin to make projections. And as you look through these blocks, you'll see that you can take that $475,000 and you can project out exact goals. Do you want to grow your business by 5%, by 10%, 15, 20? What would happen if you grew your business at 20% for the next 5 years? You can see that your production would go from $475,000 to $1.1 million. These are the kind of things that we have to have. We have to understand that by using tools like this, tools I've created, can help you understand your exact gross production revenue goal, help you understand the exact amount of assets under management that you need to reach your goals, help you understand the very specific number of net new households you need to bring in over the next year, 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. This is how you create a business model. This is how you begin to run your business and move from stuck to move forward with excitement and learning how to do those things in an efficient and productive way. I'm Allyson Lewis, and this work with financial advisors that we're doing is incredibly important. I'd like you to leave your comments, your questions. Ask me what you have. I want you to engage in the learning. Make sure that you subscribe to us on YouTube, that you keep up with us. Subscribe on our webpage. Please share this information. Help us help others, because there's going to be another set coming out with what we've just talked about, how to use the Financial Advisor Projection Worksheet to grow and attain specific goals. I'm really glad you're here, and I look forward to seeing you on the next video.